Another major NASCAR silly scene domino has fallen as we have a trade between Justin Haley and Corey LaJoie. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. As I just said a Sunday, we got some pretty massive major silly season news as it has been announced that Spire Motorsports and Rick Ware Racing have traded both of their current drivers. Justin Haley will start driving the number 7 car for Spire Motorsports starting next weekend at Kansas Speedway, and while it's not been officially announced, Justin Haley is expected to also be the driver of the number 7 car for Spire Motorsports, starting in 2025. While Corey LaJoie will move away from Spire starting next weekend at Kansas Speedway and will drive the number 51 car for Rick Ware Racing for the final 7 races of the 2024 season. Like I said with Justin Haley, while it's not been officially announced for 2025, we do think that Haley will be in the 7 car next year for Spire Motorsports, and we also do believe that Corey LaJoie will be in the 51 car for Rick Ware Racing next year in 2024 and 25, This is definitely a little bit shocking. I knew that Corey LaJoie was not going to be back with Spire Motorsports in 2025, and we all knew that Justin Illy most likely was going to be headed over to Spire Motorsports the remainder of this year and leaving Rick Ware Racing. But I don't think anybody really expected it to happen early. When is the last time a trade happened? You got to think it's like Kurt Busch and Regan Smith, right? Back in 2012 when Regan Smith substituted for Dale Jr. when he had his concussion, and then Kurt took over the 78 car for the remainder of the year. That's kind of got to be the last time we saw a trade like this, right? Or when Steve Park and Jeff Green traded back in the 2000s. This is definitely really shocking, but I think this is the best decision you can make for both sides. Let's be real and honest. Corey LaJoie has not had a good year in the Cup Series in 2024, and while he's had 2 top 10 finishes the last 2 races on non-super speedways, Corey LaJoie has just not had a great year overall. He's been out of control. He's been causing a lot of wrecks and incidents, and he's just been basically involved in a lot of controversy. He had that flip in Michigan where he kind of got into Noah Grace a little bit and just lost control. He caused a big one at Daytona, and then he caused the first big accident. And you got to think of Kyle Busch probably being involved in this decision as well, considering that Kyle Busch is working over at Spire as a consultant for the team. I'd have to imagine Kyle Busch probably played a little bit of a role in decision. Now, Corey going to Rick Ware Racing, I think is a very interesting move for the remainder of the year. I think this is about the best decision you can make, in all honesty, for Corey to start next year a little early, right? Get the opportunity to work with a team like Rick Ware, build up and get some of that chemistry going into next year. And I do think Corey LaJoie is a driver that likes to play kind of that underdog role and underdog story. So I do think that we will see Corey do okay with this ride, though I don't think he's going to do better than Justin Haley. This is definitely a downgrade to go from Justin Haley to Corey LaJoie, but at the same time, I do think Corey LaJoie will do okay in this ride. Not amazing. I think he'll probably get some top 20s or top 25s next year, probably get a couple occasional top 20s, but I do expect that 51 car to take a little bit of a step backwards. As for Justin Haley going over to Spire Motorsports, this is a massive upgrade, and this is no surprise. There's been rumors and speculation that this was expected to happen for the remainder of this year in 2025 as well, and he's going to get the chance and opportunity to work with Spire early. We've seen Spire Motorsports really get a lot better throughout this year. Carson Osbar just picked up a career top 5 finish in 3rd place at Watkins Glen, his 3rd or 4th top 5 of the year. Zane Smith, while he struggled early in the year, he's really drastically improved. You got Zane Smith, you got Michael McDowell coming into the team in 2025 in the 71 car. Travis Peterson's going to be the crew chief. In addition, you've of course got Rodney Childers, who is going to be the crew chief on that car. I expect Justin Illy and Rodney Childers for the remainder of this year to get that 7 car really back on track, and I would not be surprised or shocked if you do see at least one Spire Motorsports car in 2025. I would not be shocked or surprised if you see one of those Spire cars finishing in the top 20 in the standings next year. Carson Osbar was flirting with that throughout the year, and I do think he'll likely be the leader of that, but I think Justin Illy is throwing his way into the basket. And not only that, I do think going into 2025, with the combination of Justin Haley, Carson Osbar, and Michael McDowell, I think all 3 of these drivers will finish top 25 in the standings. They're going to be one of the best mid-pack teams in the field next year, and I do expect this organization to continue to get better. They've been hiring a lot of big-name people over there recently. Doug Ducart's the president. He was working at Hendrick back in the day. I think this is a really, really huge pickup for Spire. I think that Justin Haley is going to do a solid and excellent job, and I do expect by the end of the year that Justin Haley is going to get a couple top 15s, and I also do think that he is going to get a top 10 before the end of this year as well. I think he's going to have a shot at getting that car back inside the top 30 in the owner's points potentially, and I expect the 7 car to absolutely get a lot better. Like I said a little bit ago, while it wasn't officially announced that they'd be driving those cars for 2025, we do think these are going to be the 2 drivers in the respective rides. And a lot of people are going to be asking, why did Justin Illy leave the Roush group, and why did he leave the RFK group as well? Well, RFK Racing, they are going to expand to a 3-car operation next year, but Justin Illy was not part of those plans. It sounds like Ryan Preece is going to get the 3rd car next year. Now, we are expecting that Rick Ware could run a full season open car in 2025, but Justin Illy was going to have to wait 10 years for Brad Keselowski to retire, because Brad Keselowski's not retiring anytime soon, especially with how good he is currently at the moment right now. Justin Illy was going to have to wait a long time. And I go back to the Hendrick stuff. Rick Hendrick and Hendrick Motorsports really love Justin Haley. So I think this overall is a really good move for both parts. And maybe in the future, especially if Alex Bowman struggles in the future, though I do think Alex Bowman is going to be around until 2026. But if Alex Bowman struggles, we may see Justin Haley get that chance and opportunity to eventually go to the 48 car. But right now, I think this is the best move you can make. I expect the 7 car to be the best that has performed in a very, very long time. Justin's a really talented driver. And for Corey, he likes to be that lovable underdog, right? He wants to play that lovable underdog character, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like going to Rick Ware, a team that's shown so much improvement over the last couple of seasons. You look how good Justin Haley's been in that 51 car. I really think that this is going to be a really strong pairing for the remainder of the year. Now, again, this is a build-up for 2025. Obviously, like I said, it has not been officially announced that these 2 will be there for 25, but I think this is a really big pickup for both organizations nonetheless for the remainder of the year, and I do expect both drivers to do pretty good in their respective rides for 2025. Again, a lot of people thought maybe Corey was going to go down the Truck Series and McAnally Hilgeman. While we all thought that was pretty true at the point, we are going to see LaJoie with Rick Ware, and most likely, like I said, he'll be the only full-time driver for the team. We do think, like I said, Rick Ware will have an open car. We'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. But again, just wild to see a driver trade. Now, what does this mean for the remainder of the silly season? Well, obviously, the Rick Ware 51 car is pretty much set, and the 7 car for next year is pretty much set at this point. We know Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be going Cup Series racing in 2025. Bubba Walsh has signed a multi-year extension with 2311 Racing. You do have a couple rides that are still open up for grabs, I believe, but obviously the RFK car is expected to be announced very soon. We still don't know a couple teams, like 2311 is expected to expand to a 3-car operation, but we're still waiting if they're going to sign the charter agreement. We do think Riley Herbst is going to get that seat for next year, and we also do believe that Zane Smith, while it's not been officially confirmed, while he has talked to McAnally Hilgeman, we do think that Zane Smith most likely is going to be heading over to Front Row Motorsports and back over to the Front Row camp for 2025. And after that, you really don't have a lot of rides that need to be announced. There's some part-time entries that probably are going to be announced for 25 here in the not-so-distant future, like Martin Truex Jr.'s 2025 plans. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Xfinity got said a little more today. Harrison Burns replacing Haley Deegan at AM Racing for next year. You've obviously got Christian Eckes going to Kaulig. A lot of the silly season plans are starting to become set. And I think a lot of the big rides in all 3 series, including Cup, Xfinity, and Trucks, are starting to be set quickly. And a lot of the rides will probably be filled up here in the next couple weeks. And probably by the end of next month, most every single ride will be announced for 2025. But going back, I think it's a good move for both organizations. And I think this will set both teams up for a really good future, in my honest opinion. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news report. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support my Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts on today's episode. How do you think Justin Illy is going to perform at Spire Motorsports? Let me your thoughts in the comments below. And how do you think Corey LaJoie is going to do at Rick Ware? Let me your thoughts in the comments below. Later today on the channel, reactions to NASCAR Cup Series qualifying from Bristol. We're also going to have the Xfinity review and an SVG video most likely dropping. Saturday, we'll have the NASCAR Cup Series starting lineup for the Bass Pro Shops night race, and we'll also have the review for that. And then on Sunday, we'll have 2025 NASCAR silly season predictions. And then Monday, we're going to have 2 news videos dropping to break up all the news we've had over the last 4 or 5 days. Got a lot of great content dropping, talk about Carlos, Kurt Busch, and those guys like Kyle Busch, you name it, in the next couple weeks as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.